Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. If you are able to hear my voice clearly, can you confirm me in the chat? Jazakallah khair. So yesterday, I have taken the topic of badal, which is also called Musharun ilaiyh. Actually, badal are different types. So let's call it Musharun ilaiyh. Now, the simple thing to remember what is Musharun ilaiyh is this definition. Okay. When a ism comes with al after ismul ishara, then it is Musharun ilaiyh. So any ism which comes with al after ismul ishara, it is Musharun ilaiyh. Okay. So that is one way you can remember. So if it is hadal kitabu, al kitabu is with al, that is Musharun ilaiyh. Hadal qalamu, al qalamu is with al, that is Musharun ilaiyh. Zalikal baytu, al baytu is with al, so that is Musharun ilaiyh. Okay. So the meaning completely changes. And hadha baytun becomes a complete jumla. This is a house. But if I say hadhal baytu, then the meaning is totally different. Just because after hadha, which is ismul ishara, there is al with the ism. Okay, so the meaning becomes this house. This house. Okay, this is not jumla. This is not a sentence. This is a fragment. And you expect more to come. Okay, for the meaning to be complete. So this is Musharun ilaiyh. I'm going to repeat yesterday's slide again with some explanation. See, you have done jar majroor, and also you have done mudhaf ilayh. Now in jar majroor, any ism that comes after harf jar, it becomes majroor, or it goes into the status of jar. In the same way, in case of al-idafa or mudhaf ilayh, the mudhaf ilayh, which is the possessor, is always majroor. It is always in the status of jar. So there are two reasons for ism to become majroor. One is due to harf jar, and the second reason is because it is mudhaf ilayh. So there are only two reasons for any ism to become majroor. One is because there is harf jar before it. The second reason is because it is mudhaf ilayh. There is no other third reason for any ism to become majroor. Okay. In the same way, when a damir gets attached, damir muttasil, when it gets attached to any ism, that damir becomes majroor, because when it gets attached to the ism, it comes as Mudhaf ilaiyh. In the same way, when the damir gets attached to Harf Jar, then it comes as in the form of majroor because it is attached to Harf Jar. So even damir, as I told you, the attached pronouns, damir muttasil, they can be in two status, either in nasab or in jar. Now the only reason for it to become jar is when it gets attached to an ism or when it gets attached to a harfu jar. That is, these are the two reasons for it to become majroor. Now when it becomes mansub or when it goes into the status of nasab, that you will learn in the next book, inshallah. Okay. So if you know this, let us go to an example when Musharun ilaiyh comes with harfu jar. Okay. Now I'm taking a simple example. If I want to say this is Quran, this is a Quran. So Hada Quran. That's what I will say, right? Hada Quran. But in the Quran, if I want to say in the Quran, so what I will say? Fil Qur'ani. Fil Qur'ani. In the Quran. In this. Okay, in this. What is this? If people would like to answer, they can flag their hands in chat. They, in Zoom, they can flag their hands. People who would like to answer, they can flag their hands, or they can type your answers in the chat window. Okay, you can type the answers in the chat window. In this fi hada, very good, sister. Fi hada. Now tell me, fi is harfu jar. Fi is harfu jar. Now I told you there are only two reasons for an ism to become majroor: when it is coming after harfu jar and when it is mudhaf ilaih by itself. Now here there is fi before this. So what is the status of hada? This is, what is the status of hada? What is the status of hada? Anyone can answer? Yes, it is in the status of jar or it is majroor. Like here, fil Qur'ani, in the Quran, we made it Qur'ani. Okay, why we made it Qur'ani? Because of fi. We didn't say fil Qur'anu. We say Qur'ani because fi made it majroor. But why hada is still hada? Why it has not become hadi? Because it is mabni. Very well. Well done, Sister Khadira. Yes, Sister Najib, all of you. So, because this is mabni. So, though it is going into the status of jar, hada is going into the status of jar, but because hada is a rigid person, it is mabni, it cannot change the signs, harakat, when it goes to rafa, nasab or jar, but it can change the status. It is going into the right status. So fi hada, in this phrase, hada is in the status of jar. Hada is in the status of jar. Okay. Now, if I want to say in this Quran, if I want to say in this Quran, so the moment I say this or any ism, that means we are talking about Musharun ilaih. So what I will say, fi hadal Qur'ani. What I will say, fi hadal Qur'ani. in this Quran. في هذا القرآن, in this Quran. Then, now, so Al-Quran is, this is Musharun ilaiyh. Now, I told you in yesterday's explanation, I mentioned that Musharun ilaiyh have to match all the four properties of ism. Musharun ilaiyh have to match all the four properties of ism. Okay, which ism? The ismul ishara. The ismul ishara that is coming before it. So it has to match all the four properties of that. So let us do the test for this sentence, for this phrase, fi hadha al-Qur'ani, and let us analyze what are the four properties of hadha, and then see whether Al-Quran, it follows all the four properties of hadha. If it follows all the four properties of hadha, then we can for sure say, yes, this is Musharun ilaiyh. Then, okay, so let's do this analysis. Hadha, what are the four properties? I will take the first property as qism. What is the what is qism of hadha? Hadha, what is the qism? What is the qism of hadha? What is the type of hadha? Yes, it is ma'rifah. Why it is ma'rifah? Why it is ma'rifah? Why hadha is ma'rifah? Yes, yes, sisters, you are all saying correctly. It is ma'rifah. Why it is ma'rifah? Why do I say that hadha is ma'rifah? What is the reason that it is ma'rifah? Yeah, because all ismul ishara are ma'rifah. That is the correct answer. Yes, you all are right. Excellent, well done. Because all ismul ishara are ma'rifah. Hadha, hadihi, okay, tilka, ulaika, haulai, okay. All these are ma'rifah. So hadha, the moment ismul ishara is there, it's ma'rifah. Okay, let's analyze whether Al-Quran is ma'rifah or not. Yes, it is ma'rifah because we have attached al to that. We have attached al to that. So this property is satisfied. This property is satisfied. Understood? Let's look at the second property, jins. What is the jins of this? What is the gender of haza? What is the gender of haza? Muzakkar, yes, it is muzakkar. Why? Because its equivalent ismul ishara for muannas is hadhihi. Right? It is muzakkar. So Al-Quran, it is muzakkar because there is no sign here that indicates that it is muannas. Because I mentioned to you, if there is no indication of muannas signs, and I explained what are the signs to identify muannas. Okay, there is nothing indicates that Al-Quran is muannas, so it is muzakkar. So this sign also matches. This property also matches. Let's look at the third property, adad, hadha. It is for single. Yes, mufrad. And Al-Quran, we know it is one single book. It is one single book. And Al-Quran, it is mufrad. So this property also matches. Now, what is the i'rab of this? What is the i'rab of this? It is majroor. It is majroor. Why it is majroor? Because there is fi before this. Because there is fi before this. So this is harfu jar. Since there is harfu jar before this, so though it is hadha only, it is mabni, but it is majroor. It is in the status of jar. So hadha is majroor. It is in the status of jar. Now we have to make this. We have to make sure that it has to be not al Quranu or al Qurana. It has to be al Qurani, right? So this is matching all the four properties of Ismul Ishara. That is why we can for sure say it is Musharun ilaiyh. We can for sure say it is Musharun ilaiyh. There was confusion yesterday, brothers and sisters. Is this okay? Are you comfortable with this today? Okay. Okay. Because some of you, some brothers and sisters, they asked me to repeat yesterday and we ran out of time. Okay, let's go back to yesterday's example. Let's go back to the yesterday's example. The example I took before was with Harf Jar. Now we will take when Musharun ilaiyh comes with Mudhaf ilaiyh. Okay. House of that man. This is what I want to write. House of that man. Whenever there is a kind of possession in a sentence and there is a possessor there, these kind of sentences are al-idafa. These kind of sentences are mudaf ilayh. Okay, these kind of sentences are mudaf ilayh. You know this very well. So here, house of that man, of has come. That is, there is a possession here. House is possessed by that man. So whenever there is a sense of English language, or whenever there is a sense of apostrophe S of English language, that is a case of mudaf ilayh. So you can, in the other way, you can say this sentence as that man's house with apostrophe S, that man's house, or house of that man. It's one and the same thing. House of that man. So I started yesterday. I said, let's first find out what is that man? What is the meaning of that man? Now it's a clear case of Musharun ilayh. Okay, that man, that means Zalika. Zalika, and that man, if I want to say, so I have to say Zalika Rajulu. That is the meaning of that man. Understood? That is the meaning of that man. Zalika Rajulu. Now I have to bring house of that man. House is a possessed thing, and that man is the possessor. That man is the possessor. And possessor is, in Arabic, we call it as Mudhaf ilayh. And the one that is possessed, we call it as Mudhaf. We call it as Mudhaf. Okay. So, Mudhaf, we have to say, we have to bring Mudhaf here now. So, we have to bring Baytu. Okay. So, we have to bring Baytu. Now, Baytu has come here. So, this means house of that man. Zalika, house of that man. Right? Now, what is Mudhaf here? Baytu is Mudhaf here. And what is Mudhaf ilayh? Zalika is Mudhaf ilayh. Right or wrong? Zalika is Mudhaf ilayh. House of that. Okay, man is coming afterwards. Let's not talk about man. We just stop here. House of that. House of that. So what is this? This is Mudhaf ilayh. So Mudhaf ilayh is always, Mudhaf ilayh is always, I won't answer. Majroor. Mudhaf ilayh is always majroor. So what is the status of Zalika? What is the status of Zalika? It is in the status of jar. It is in the status of jar. But it is mabni, so it is written Zalika only. But it is in the status of jar. Now, as I have done the analysis before in the slide before. Musharun ilaiyh have to match all the 4 properties of ism. So it is this is ismul ishara, this is always ma'rifa. So we have put al here, this is ma'rifa. This is zalika is used for muzakkar, so this is also muzakkar. Okay. This is used for singular, this is for singular, this is also singular. This is in the status of jar, but here this is in the status of rafa. So this is wrong. This has to be in the status of, this has to be majroor. This is wrong. So we have to remove this. And we have to take it into the status of jar. Baytu dhalika rajuli. Baytu dhalika rajuli. Understood or not? Did you understood or not, brothers and sisters? Please confirm. Or still there is a doubt. There are a lot of people, they were not able to understand yesterday. Alhamdulillah. Excellent. I'm going to take more examples today. Today is a heavy topic for you. I'm just warning you. So open your eyes fully and focus on the screen. And put all your brain on full alert. Look at, understand it, because I'm going to confuse you a lot today. Not confuse you, but I'm going to give you a lot of challenges today. Okay. So the previous 2 examples were when Musharun ilaiyh came with Harf Jar. And the second example came with when Musharun ilaiyh came with Mudhaf ilayh. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about when Musharun ilaiyh comes with Mudhaf. When Musharun ilaiyh comes with Mudhaf. Okay, brothers and sisters? So, house of Allah. Now I want the answers in the chat window. The moment English comes, start writing in the chat. Write with your answers. House of Allah. I want, sister, I want with all harakat, because we are, and I told you that in this book 1, we are going to say the sign of last letter also. Yes, excellent, excellent, well done. Baytullahi, well done. Baytullahi, well done. House of Allah. Baytullahi. This is house of Allah. This is another simple thing. This is house of Allah. This is house of Allah. Hada baytullahi. Well done, sister. Hada baytullahi. Hada baytullahi. Now what is baytu, sister? What is baytu? What is baytu, brothers and sisters? Mudhaf, yes. And what is Allahi? Mudhaf ilayh. That is, wallahi is in the status of jar. Okay, that is why it's in the status of jar. So this is Hada Baitullah. This is house of Allah. Okay. Now this house, again, what will you say? This house. This is the case of Musharun ilayh. This house. This is not a jumla. No, sister. No. Hadal Baitu. Yes. It will be Hadal Baitu. Yes. It will be Hadal Baitu. Sister, if you are saying Hada Bait, that is wrong, sister. Hada Bait means it's a jumla. Hada Bait means this is a house. But if you want to say this house, it is, you have to put it as al after that. Okay, Hadal Bait. Understood? Hadal Bait. So this house. Now I'm just preparing the ground for you by giving these examples so that you are ready for a bigger challenge. Now, this is Musharun ilaiyh. Now, how will you say this house of Allah? This house of Allah. هذا البيت الله. هذا البيت الله. Most of the people, they have done this. Now, what is Baytullahi? Mudhaf, mudhaf ilayh. What is Baytullahi? Mudhaf, mudhaf ilayh. What are the two no's for mudhaf? What are the two no's for mudhaf? What are the two no's for mudhaf? No al, no tanween. Well done. No and no tanween. Now, what is mudhaf taking here? What is mudhaf taking here? It is taking al. So this is not correct. This is not correct. But you tried well. You have done very well. You know, you have tried well. Now, mudhaf cannot take al. So we have to remove. The moment mudhaf is there, you have to replace it with baytu. This is mudhaf. But when I replace it with baytu, this is no more musharun ilayh, because there is a haza before that. This is no more musharun ilayh, because after ismul ishara, if it is coming with al, then only it will become musharun ilayh. Then only it will become. So if I replace with baytu, if I write mudaf correctly, then haza is causing problem to me. This haza is in the wrong place. Because this has become like what? Haza baytullahi. See, this has become like a sentence. This is house of Allah, which I have written here already. Haza baytullahi. This has become like a sentence. But I want to write this house of Allah. That means if I want to say this house of Allah, haza is in the wrong place. So what do? I kick out haza from here. I kick out haza from here, and I will kick him out to the end, and I will say Baytullahi hada. I would say Baytullahi hada. Okay. So what is the rule here? When ismul ishara is needed to point to mudaf, then ismul ishara is kicked to the end of the sentence. Then it should be after, not end of the sentence, after mudaf mudaf ilayh. Then it will be after mudaf mudaf ilayh. Brothers and sisters, is it too much for you today? Is it clear, or shall I repeat this slide? When ismul ishara, okay. So when the musharun ilayh points to mudaf, see, I explained you three situations. When musharun ilayh points, when musharun ilayh comes with harf jar, when musharun ilayh comes with mudaf ilayh, and this is the condition when musharun ilayh comes with mudaf. This is pointing to what? Mudaf. What is possessor? House is possessor. Possessed. House is possessed. Who is the possessor? Allah is the possessor. Okay. So when this is pointing to mudaf, that time ismul ishara is after mudaf mudaf. Then ismul ishara is after mudaf mudaf. Okay. So one of the sister So then will Baytu be Musharun ilayh? Yes, it is. It is. Baytullahi hada. Okay. Baytullahi hada. This is how you will say. Okay. So now let me repeat it. So this is what you understood. Baytullahi, mudaf mudaf ilayh. Hada Baytullahi. This is a house of Allah. This is a complete jumla. This is mudaf mudaf ilayh. Hada al-baytu. This is musharun ilayh. Now, if I want to say this house of Allah, naturally, with the knowledge that you have gained till now, the moment you say this house, immediately you say hadal baytu, and it is baytullahi. So you immediately will say hada baytullahi. But here there are contradicting things. Baytu is mudaf because it's a possessed thing, and mudaf will never take al, mudaf will never take tanween. These are the two no's: no al, no tanween, no al, no tanween. Here, if I'm making this sentence from this translation, immediately it is not satisfying the condition of mudaf. Okay, it is not satisfying the condition of mudaf. So the moment, see, you will understand by looking at the sentence itself. When you will look at the sentence, you saw that this is referring to mudaf, this house. The thing that is possessed is house. Okay, that is mudaf. The thing that is possessed is mudaf, and the possessor is mudaf ilayh. And mudaf ilayh is always majroor. And in Arabic, the thing that is possessed is written first, and the possessor is written afterwards. So Allah is possessor of that, he is written afterwards, and the thing that is possessed is written first. Okay. So the moment you see a sentence that this is referring to the thing that is possessed, you should straight away say Baytullahi hada. You should straight away say Baytullahi hada. Okay, you should just take it at the end, Baytullahi hada. If we say Baytullahi, Baytullahi is correct. Baytullahi means Baytullahi means house of Allah. I don't know. I do not understand your question, sister. Sister Nikhat. Okay. Baytullahi hada means this is it will mean this house of Allah. Baytullahi hada. Okay. Okay, sister, if still it is not clear, inshallah, I will give you more examples now. Maybe it will be clear, inshallah. Okay. Okay. This camel of Allah. Camel of Allah. How do you know that? Camel of Allah. What is this case? Mudaf, mudafil. And I have put F into bracket, means I'm talking about female camel, she camel. Okay. I'm talking about she camel. Yes. In she camel is called naqatun in Arabic. Now, camel of Allah. Forget about this. Camel of Allah. What is it called? Naqatullahi. Naqatullahi. But if I want to make this camel, so I have to make hadal naqatu. If I say hadal naqatu, it is wrong. It is wrong, right? Why it is wrong? Because mudaf cannot take al. So what I have to say? The moment I say that this is pointing to the thing that is possessed, okay, the thing that is hadihi actually, it's she camel, so I cannot say hada. It has to be hadi. So the thing that this is possessed, so I have to say I have to immediately take ismul ishara to the end. It has to be hazi, sister, not hada, because it is she camel. Okay, you have to be careful about this. So naqatullahi hadihi, naqatullahi hadihi, right? Okay, naqatullahi hadihi. Now, what is the status of naqatu? What is the status of naqatu? Anyone? Marfu. Status. The moment I say status, rafa. Yes, rafa or mar. It is now marfu. What is Allahi? Jar. It's in the status of jar. Majroor. Who said marfu? There's someone who said marfu. Sister, you have. It has to be majroor. What is the status of hazihi? Why you are saying hazi? Marfa. Marfa is, sister, that is not a status, that is a type. That is, sister, marfa means. Ah, well done. All of you who are saying rafa or marfu, they are right. Why people who said jar, why they are saying hazihi is jar? Why? All ismul ishara are. Okay, no, sorry. They are marfa, but here it is hazihi. Hazihi doesn't mean hazihi is written hazihi only. It is in rafa or nasab or jar. We are only taking it at the end because it cannot come in the beginning because it will grammatically misconstruct the sentence. Naqatullahi hadihi. But it is marfu. Okay. In the same way, again, this is simple. This is for you to answer now. Yes, that's the correct answer that Sister Tasneem gave. It has to follow the status of that where it is pointed to. So it is pointed to naqatu, right? Yes. Musharun ilayh is naqatu. Naqatu is ma'rifa. It is feminine. That's why it is hazihi. Is also feminine. It is singular. And this is also singular. It is marfu because this is also marfu. But you said musharun ilayh will come with al. But this year it is, that's why I'm saying why we are taking it to the end, because if normally musharun ilayh is coming after ismul ishara. Normally musharun ilayh is coming after ismul ishara. But if I will put musharun ilayh after ismul ishara, I have to put al. I cannot put it al here because it is mudhaf here. And mudhaf will never take al. So I have to throw it to the end. Understood or not? Understood it? Still confusion, Sister Najiba? Okay. Naqatullahi hadihi. Clear? Okay. So answer this one. The next one. Because remember, sisters, brothers and sisters, Mudhaf never takes al. Whatever happens, Mudhaf will never take al. Okay? Mudhaf will never take al. Even if it is ma'rifa, it will be written without al, but it will be ma'rifa. Okay? Remember this. Yeah. Naqatullahi tilka. Well done. Naqatullahi tilka. Yes. Naqatullahi tilka. Okay, so Ummah of the messenger. Okay, Ummah of the messenger. This is simple mudaf mudaf ilayh case. This has nothing to do with Musharun ilayh. This has nothing to do with mudaf Musharun ilayh. Ummah of the messenger. Tell me the answer. Tell me the answer. Ummah of the messenger. Simple. Ummah, you can say Ummah means nation. Ummah means nation. Yeah. Ummah, like we say, we are from the nation or from the generation of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, or from not generation, like the period, we can say. Ummah has a much wider meaning. So now there is no scope to go into that. Ummatur Rasulu Mudaf Mudaf ilayh. Okay. Ummatur Rasul. But tell me with the last sign, sisters. Tell me with the last sign. Someone said Ummatur Rasul. Someone said Ummatur Rasuli. Someone said Ummatur Rasulu. Which one is correct? What is Mudaf here and what is Mudaf ilayh? What is the possessor? The possessor is the messenger. And what is possessed? The possessed is Ummah. So this is Mudaf. And this is Mudaf ilayh. And Mudaf ilayh is always Majroor. So it has to be Ummatur Rasuli. Ummatur Rasuli. Sister, it will not be Ummatur Rasulihi. It will be just Ummatur Rasuli. Okay? Ummatur Rasuli. Okay? Ummah of the messenger. Ummatur Rasuli. No problem. No problem. Ummatur Rasuli. Okay. Ummah of this messenger. Here is Musharun ilayh. Okay. I'm warning you. Ummah of the, but you can tell. It's easy. Very easy. See, now this is pointing to Mudaf ilayh. When Musharun ilayh is pointing to Mudaf ilayh, it is easy. You don't have to throw the Ismul Ishara to the end. No. Here it's sister. This is pointing to Mudaf ilayh. No. See, you got confused. See, when the Musharun ilayh is pointing to Mudaf, then you have to take Ismul Ishara to the end. But when it is pointing to Mudaf ilayh, it will be simple sentence. You have to just put al over there. So, Ummah of this messenger, Ummah of this messenger. Okay. Ummatu Hadar Rasuli. What is big deal in this, sisters, brothers and sisters? Ummatu Hadar Rasuli. This is the example I took yesterday, and today I repeated that example. Ummatu Hadar Rasuli. This is Mudaf. This is Mudaf ilayh. Haza is in the status of Jar. That's why Ar-Rasuli is also in the status of Jar. Ummatu Hadar Rasuli. Ummatu Hadar Rasuli. Ummah of this messenger. So here Mudaf ilayh is Ummatu Hadha. Ummatu is Mudaf and Hadha is Mudaf ilayh, and Ar-Rasuli is Musharun ilayh. Not understood? Do you want me to type it and again repeat this in the word? Sure. Or if you want me, I can go to the Microsoft Word and I can explain to you on the Word. Okay, fine. Ummatu hadha rasuli. Ummah of this message. Yes. So Sister Tasneem wrote, if Musharun ilaiyh points to Mudhaf, then only you have to kick out Ismul Ishara. But if Musharun ilaiyh points to Mudhaf ilaiyh, then it is simple. You just follow the normal sequence of the sentence. You just follow normal sequence of the sentence. Now here, this is pointing to Mudhaf ilaiyh. This is pointing to Mudhaf ilaiyh. Yes. Okay, brothers and sisters. No confusion now? No confusion? Don't run away from the class because it is too difficult. This Arabic class it's not difficult. I'm telling you, these difficult sentences, normally people will not go into these complications, but inshallah, when you will be reading Quran, it will become easy for you to understand. Okay. Yes. So don't get discouraged. Take your notes. When I'm taking the lecture, you have to write, keep your notebook with you or be in front of laptop. Keep on typing your notes, whatever is convenient to you. It's very necessary. You have to make your own notes. Now comes a big, this ummah of the messenger. Ummah of this messenger, ummatu hadar rasuli. This ummah of the messenger. And I'm warning you again. I'm warning you with this warning, this blue color warning. I'm warning you with this blue color warning. Think, Sister Basma, it's good try, but still you're partially correct. This ummah, how do you? Ummah, how it is ending? Ummah, what is the spelling of ummah? Ummah ends with ta marbuta. Aywa, mashallah. All of you are very good. Mashallah. All of you are very good. You understood. Ummatur rasuli hadhihi. Okay, ummatur rasuli hadhihi. This ummah of the messenger. Okay. Ummatur rasuli hadhihi. You'll find many such examples in Quran, brothers and sisters. You'll find many such examples in Quran. Okay. Is this topic correct, clear or not? Because yesterday one brother said, please explain with more examples. So I have added some few more examples today. I hope it is clear. But believe me, you have learned very advanced thing here because the book is very simple. The book is very, very simple. If you'll go to the book, you should just complete the book in 5 minutes. Book is not going into that so much, they are not going into so much deep. Book is taking a very, very simple approach. Okay, so now I'm going to the book. Ad-Darthu Thamin. The 8th lesson, the 8th chapter. Ad-Darthu Thamin. Now I'm going to read the whole paragraph. You focus on my reading, how I'm pronouncing the words, where I'm pronouncing Rafa, Nasab, Jar properly. Look at those signs, harakat. That's very important. And you can repeat with me and see if you are understanding the meanings. If you have not understood any meaning, you can ask in the chat window, I have not understood the meaning of so and so sentence. Okay, you can just tell me the line number, third line from top, fourth line from top, or anything. هذا الرجل تاجر وذلك الرجل طبيب. هذا الرجل تاجر. This is completely one jumla. وذلك الرجل طبيب. ذلك الرجل طبيب. Okay, this is second jumla ismiya. اسم التاجري مضاف مضاف إليه. اسم التاجري. اسم التاجري محمود. اسم التاجري محمود. واسم الطبيب سعيد. واسم الطبيب سعيد. اسم التاجري محمود. Name of the trader is Mahmoud. واسم الطبيب سعيد. And name of the doctor is Sa'id. Okay, that's the meaning of this sentence. هذا الرجل تاجر. This man is a trader. وذلك الرجل طبيب. And that man is a doctor. Okay, I will not translate every time. You have to understood now. You should understand without translation. هذا البيت للتاجر وذلك البيت للطبيب. وذلك البيت للطبيب. Now what is the analysis, grammatical analysis? هذا البيت للتاجر. هذا مبتدا، البيت مشار إليه، للتاجر شبه جملة جار مجرور خبر. Okay, if you have not understood even the analysis, you can type in the chat window. I will explain to you. Same thing here. وذلك مبتدا، البيت مشار إليه، للطبيب شبه جملة جار مجرور خبر. بيت التاجر أمام المسجد. أمام means in front. Okay, it is ظرف. وبيت الطبيب خلف المدرسة. وبيت الطبيب خلف المدرسة. Okay, بيت التاجر مضاف مضاف إليه. بيت is مبتدا، التاجري and وهو مضاف, and التاجري is مضاف إليه. أمام is ظرف, it is خبر, شبه جملة خبر. Same thing here. بيت التاجر أمام المسجد. House of the trader is in front of the masjid. House of the trader is in front of the masjid. وبيت الطبيب خلف المدرسة. And house of the doctor is behind the school. Al-madrasa, behind the school. Sister, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing the translation, but by this lesson, all of you should understand without translation. Okay, I do not expect that you should be dependent on translation anymore now. Okay, you have to understand now, sister. If you will take time to understand, you go word by word. Look at that. Try to do the analysis of that, and do in your notebook. You can do that. And when you are listening to me, focus on the sentence and try to understand. Okay, what is it saying? Okay. لمن هذه السيارة ولمن تلك. Now this is a question. لمن هذه